Hi everybody, welcome to the Manifold channel. Today we're going to take a look at the wonderful new Edit Join dialog, which allows us to do all kinds of wonderful joins between tables and between drawings and drawings and drawings and images, including spatial joins, all without doing any SQL. It's extremely easy to use, and it's just a wonderful thing to have added to Manifold. We're going to work with this sample map here of the United States, which has two layers. It has the layers of U.S. cities as points, which is in the upper layer with green points. And if we take a look at the attribute table for that, which I have opened and undocked, here it is. It shows that for each U.S. city we have the name and we have the population, but we don't have the state in which that city is located. We also have a U.S. states layer, which is the other layer that's here on the map, showing states as areas. And if we take a look at the states attribute table, here we have the name of the state. And what we want to do is we want to do a classic join, where a spatial join, where for each city, the join looks at what state it's located in and automatically takes the value of the state field here and puts it in a new state field here in the cities table. It copies the state value into a new states field here in the U.S. cities table, and it's going to create it in place. Now to do that, we're going to work with this map. We're going to click on the map to make sure the focus is there. And the destination layer is the U.S. cities drawing. So we're going to click there to make sure that has the focus. And now we'll click Edit Join. And Edit Join is automatically loaded up with our destination table for starters. Destination drawing, that's U.S. cities. Here we're going to pick the in this pull down box the joined drawing, which is going to be U.S. states. Now the join dialog already knows that we don't have too many fields between the two that we can use as matching fields, and geom is going to be one of them. That's a geometry field. And what we want to do is pick a spatial relationship, and in this case we want all the U.S. cities that are contained in U.S. states. So that's going to be our join criteria, our spatial criteria. Now let's add the field to the a new field to the cities table. Here are all the fields in the cities table. We're going to click here to add, and we'll choose state. This is a list of all the fields that we can add from the U.S. states table. So let's choose state, and we don't want to change the name of this. We want to retain the name of that field as state. So let's leave it at that. We're going to copy the value of state for each state, that, and so forth. And that's all we want to do. And it's that easy. Let's click Join Component. And you'll see, like magic, it runs, it thinks for a second, and it adds a new state field to the cities table right here. And you can see that for each city, it found the state in which that city is located. And the way these happen to be ordered randomly, the first one happens to be in Maine, the second one is Washington, and so on down, and found all those for us automatically. That's really fast, and as you can see, it's a lot faster than using a SQL to write a join query, even if you feel quite comfortable with join queries. Now let's do something else that's cool. Let's do it the other way around. Let's take the U.S. states table, and what we want to do is for each U.S. state, we want to, for all the cities that are in the in that state, we want to add up their population fields and put that into a new cumulative population number here for the state. We'll call that field. We'll also call that field population. So the way we'll do that is we'll click here on the map to make sure the map window has the focus. Now we'll click on the U.S. states layer, because that's our destination layer. That's the original drawing with which we are going to work. And we click Edit Join. Again, it launches with U.S. states as the destination drawing. That's the one that had the focus. And for the joined drawing, we're going to use U.S. cities. So what we want to do is we now want to find for each geom that U.S. states that contains the U.S. cities. So that's kind of the flip side of contained, in that we want to find U.S. states that contain all the various U.S. cities. And the field that we want to add is here is population. So we'll click that to add population. Those are all the fields that are available in U.S. city. And we don't want to just copy the population, because that'll just copy the first population, the values that it has. So for Maine, it's going to get a population value of 7,910 or whatever. What we want to do is we want to double click in this field right here to pick something more interesting. And way down here we see average bit, copy, count, diversity. One of the fields that's off screen. Actually, tell you what, let me close this and let's launch this again. Edit Join, and I'll move this dialog way up here. So when I do the pull down list, there'll be room to see it in the video. And we want, again, contains U.S. states, contains U.S. cities. We're going to add population. And now I'll double click on this, and you can see way down here is the sum. That's the one we want to use. We want to click on that. So we double clicked in here to change that. We want to choose the sum as the transfer method. So we're going to find the sum of all populations that are in the U.S. cities that happen to be within each particular U.S. state. And if we like that, let's click Join Component. And I'll think for a second. This takes a moment or two, and it adds population. Now that was pretty darn cool. I mean, you can see how easy it is to create something which does a more sophisticated thing than just do a copy. It actually sums. That's using a so-called aggregate function. let's do another thing. Let's say for each state we want to see the minimum and the maximum. That'll give us the city with the number of the smallest city in the state and the number for the largest city in the state. So let's do that again. Here we click on the map to make sure it has the focus. Make sure that this states layer has the focus. Now let's click Edit, Join. And once again, we choose as the joined table, join drawings US cities. And once again, we choose contains, because that's the relationship we're interested in. And now let's choose population once more. And for this, we'll choose the, let's start with the max. And we'll call this the biggest pop. And let's add another field, population. Notice we can add as many fields as we like here. It's no big deal. And for this one, we'll choose the minimum. And here it'll be the smallest pop. So we're going to add two new fields, biggest pop and smallest pop, and those will be the largest and the smallest populations per city, respectively. Click Join Component. Again, it thanks us off to the races. Manifold does all this in parallel, by the way. It's using fully parallel logic, CPU parallelism. So it has the biggest population. That gives you the biggest city in Michigan, which has 970,196, and it's at the smallest population in Michigan, which is 127. This is, of course, just for this particular data set, which I don't know where it came from. It's just a representative data set that shows cities and states. So Edit Join is that easy to use. We've done a spatial join here because that's kind of the sexy part. I mean, you can see all these nice pictures. In what we'll do next in upcoming videos is we'll do a spatial join using from an image to drawing, and we'll also do a spatial join from table to table, which is a conventional kind of join, which people do all the time. But like I say, we decided to start with the sexy one here, and I hope you enjoy it. Learn to use Edit Join. Even people that are diehard SQL fanatics like it so much they're going to use it all the time, and have fun. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and goodbye from Manifold Land. Well, that was fun. If you want to see more, visit us at www.manifold.net. As always, Manifold delivers the world's most advanced, highest quality spatial products for GIS and DBMS at a low price that you can afford. Once again, that's manifold.net. See you soon.